Podcast, episode 924.
Hello, Susie.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm so good.
I know, and your hair is cute as a button.
Oh, yes, I chopped it all off. Oh, my God. I feel like myself.
Freedom.
I feel free. I feel so good.
Bouncy and adorable.
Oh, my gosh.
Sexy, sassy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for
Curls
realsies.
are popping. I'm so happy.
Poppin'.
It really feels like me. I don't know what I was waiting so long for.
You know
well,
what?
actually, I do
That's
an
what
appointment.
the problem is with your hair, though, is that it looks so good at every length and every style that I can understand why you hesitate to change.
Well, thank you. I did, but
It's true, though.
yeah, I went out with my girlfriends and they were like, "Don't cut it." And then one of
now
them
they're
saw
like, "Oh
it
my
like
God, you
kind of
look
up, and
so
she was like,
good."
"Oh yeah, that would be." And then they were like, "Oh my God, that was such a good idea to cut it." I'm like, "Yeah, I
Right,
know."
that's what I'm
So,
saying.
we're all fine, people. Don't worry. So yes,
Well, you look
yes.
amazing.
Thank you. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, and I have been watching documentaries like I don't know.
It's your job.
Like it's my job. Like, because you know, kind of is.
It is, yeah.
So I felt like we have to like get started
Oh
right
my God,
away.
is this your episode? I was like ready to roll. I love this.
Oh.
This is such a treat.
Oh, I think if it's
She's
not
chomping
yours,
at the bit.
I'm taking over, and now it's
Good,
become
yeah,
mine because
take it, baby.
I have so many things to talk about. I don't even know where I want to start.
Oh my God, for real, Sarah?
Yeah, I have a lot of things, a lot of really
Fabulous.
interesting things that I learned and that I
Very
taught.
interesting thing. Wait, before you begin,
Oh,
can
okay.
I rant about my life?
Oh my God, please do.
Yeah,
Yes, I
it's
love a good
roots.
rant.
Okay, well, I guess I just want free therapy from Sarah because
I'll give that to you anytime you want.
just before our recording today, I had scheduled a routine dental appointment.
Oh, good for you. We care about dental hygiene over here at the BCP.
I'm an enthusiast.
Why we don't have any like dentist related sponsors?
Well, we did at one time. Quip, where'd they go? Quip.
Wait.
I still use you.
them. Yeah, okay, anyways.
Can I get
Good.
paid for it, please?
Right.
Okay. So my car is in the shop, and so I had to get an Uber.
Yeah.
And so I live in a weird spot, and sometimes it takes a minute before you get an Uber that doesn't cancel or whatever. And
Right.
so I realized
The road that you have to drive down to get to Susie's house
It's
looks
precarious.
like you also may get murdered.
yeah,
like,
it's a horror. I'm always like, it's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie start.
scenario.
Yes.
Yeah. So I realized I was going to be a little bit late. So I called the dentist and I said, "Hey, I am waiting on my Uber. I'm probably going to be 5-10 minutes late. So let me know if I should just move on and reschedule." She's like, "As long as you get here within 15 minutes, you'll be fine." So I do. I get there within the window.
Oh, okay.
And then some nurse ratchet calls my name and takes me back for my cleaning. And she is not happy
Oh.
and wanted
okay.
me to know it.
Oh no. She took it out
And-
on your gums?
Well, her name was Anne. Opposite of a shout out to Anne
Oh.
from Refresh Dental
Oh, thumbs down to Anne.
on Perry Highway in Wexford, PA.
Consider this her Yelp review.
So she is like clearly wound up about my late arrival.
Do we know it's that? Did she?
Well, we
did
do
she-
now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no.
and keep in mind, my dad was a bus driver. He taught me two things: righty tighty, lefty loosey, and to never be late for anything.
Yes.
And I am never late for anything.
Right.
I'm like obnoxiously punctual.
Right.
And I have been going to this dentist for 23 years.
Oh my God, that should be another important part of. Okay.
Yes,
okay,
there's been no like, I forgot or
You don't
I'm
have a
late.
red flag
No.
in your file like
No.
trouble. Right.
Right. So
Which
anyway,
they don't do, by the way. Just that is not a real thing for anybody worrying.
So she said, "We need to get you a full X-ray scenario today." And I go, "You know what? I'm going to wait till next time to do that. Cause obviously I'm already
on a
late.
time crunch, right.
We're in a time crunch. I needed to get back to record. And I said, I'm going to wait till next time to do that. And she was like, that's not how we do things here. I'm going to have to ask the dentist. And then she goes and pretends probably to ask the dentist.
Clickety clack, clickety clack, click, click, click. Yeah.
And she comes back and she's like, yeah, we're going to need the full set. And she puts that fucking iron bib on me. And I was seething, right? And I'm still thinking about the jackass at the gym that I didn't react appropriately to. Like, I didn't stand up for myself. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, am I going to let this continue or what?
No.
And I go, you know what?
Yes.
And it feels like maybe I should reschedule because I don't think your heart's in this.
Good.
Right? Because she's being a fucking jackass. And I don't want her in my mouth.
No, definitely not.
Right?
And you're going to end up, who knows? She might be more like, for a lot of reasons.
And she's like, no. It's not that. It's that I'm trying to move things along because we're already 20 minutes late. And I said, that's why I wanted to skip the x-rays because we're 20 minutes late, Anne.
Right.
And I said, you know what, Anne? I think we're done
worst
here.
Enemy.
I'm not into this sitch.
Yeah.
And I took that lead bib.
Get it.
And
Freedom.
I said, fuck off with your x-rays.
Yes.
And so I waltzed my way out of there.
Good.
And they feel that they did the right thing. Like they think I deserved that. And I do not think that I did. Because if it was going to be like that, you could have said that on the phone. Like, you know what? We're cutting it too close.
Absolutely. You could have.
I would have paid the fee or whatever. I don't give a shit. I do not want to be abused and have hostility at the dentist.
No, you do not. Anne is my worst enemy. Here's my list.
Yes.
Anne and the guy who made our sushi that one time. And the woman from Brazil who lied about the tram.
Yeah.
Those are the three people.
Con artists.
Yes. We're on to you.
Sarah, the worst part of our feuds, though, is they are fruitless.
Totally.
We never get anywhere.
Totally existing in our own mind and on this podcast, and that's it.
Anyway, thanks for listening. And I'll tell you what else you need to listen to. And frankly, I need a little bit of right about now. And that is BetterHelp. And they sponsor our freaking podcast because they're the best in the biz. Here's the scoop.
It's so important to go to therapy.
I need to double up.
I feel like if there is something that has been weighing on your shoulders, something that you feel like you need like to talk to a friend about, but if you are having that feeling of, I don't want to burden anybody with this, call yourself a therapist. Oh. Even if it's just one time that you go, just see what that feels like to just go for a month. To go for a month. Test it out, see what it feels like to have somebody listen who's that, like, different than a friend.
I mean, I hate that they're right all the time about this. Like,
I know.
Because it always feels like, yeah, I know what they're going to say, B. But the truth is, it doesn't matter.
It's like, I say all the time, what I say, it's like tickling yourself. You can't do it yourself.
No.
I know all the answers, not really, but I know what's going on. But when somebody else does it to me, it's therapy magic.
Shout out to my therapist, Jake.
Oh, shout out to Jake.
Shout out to Jake.
Jake and Sherry.
Jake and Sherry. Listen, they have been through a lot, you can imagine, right? They've heard it all. But here's the thing. Whatever you're going through, grief, stress, relationship stuff, loneliness, anything, they have somebody that can help you. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/braincandy. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/braincandy.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Now it's your turn. I interrupted you.
No, it was a very important story.
Thank you,
and
Sarah.
I love an anecdote.
You do.
I I will share one little one. I went from my own life. I went to a club this weekend. I went out with some girls. We went to my gal pals. Had a little girls' weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona. Mm-hmm. Went out to like a bar, like it's like right by ASU. It's like all college town. Like we did not belong there. I felt
so
there.
Great.
But we're like, okay, we're gonna go out. We're gonna have fun. We're like, and we went out early, like before I'm so self-aware.
I delude myself. I'm like, yeah, these people fucking.
I'm like this. No, I'm like this grandma. But what my role then becomes is to like be the connector and party starter. Where I see like the table of gals who like are having the bachelorette party but not dancing. I'm like, all right, ladies, let's go.
Do it.
Well, come on. So that becomes like my role
here.
Vibe Pope. Yes, Vibe Pope. And my friend Megan's like that too. She and I were like,
I love her.
Vibe. She loves you.
You have the best friends.
Yes, I really do. Megan is the greatest. Is she not hilarious?
She is.
All of them. Okay.
I hope
all these
she
friends.
does love me because that's all I want out of life.
They do. They so do. Okay. But here's the part that I had to share.
Yes.
I was now like 3 drinks deep and like they're playing, 90s jams I'm just having a grand old time. This is like early in the evening. Everybody gets there at 10. We're there at like 8.
Of course.
It's so funny. I have a whole video of me being like, nobody's here because we're too old. It's so funny. So then now it's like time for us to leave. And there have been these 2 creepy guys sitting in a booth all night long that are, I would put them at about 65.
Ew. Gross.
2 of them.
Absolutely not.
And so I came up to him and like was like dancing
Sarah,
and moving and grooving, and I was like, "Hey, you're too old to be here." And then I was like, "How do we feel about that?" And then they were just like not. They just like looked at me like bright eyes. I was like, "Come on, let's agree. Absolutely too old to be here, right? That gal over there, old enough to be your daughter, or maybe even your daughter's daughter. Am I right?"
Sarah.
And then, and then I was like, "But hey, good news. You at least can afford the abortion. High five." Yeah.
Whoa.
I was like on a hot one.
You took it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
How many drinks had you had?
Like 3. Maybe 4 from the one at dinner.
It may have been 4.
One at dinner and then
like
3 at the club.
Sarah,
that's 4 Sarah.
I have rarely witnessed 4 Sarah, but when I have,
you had never seen 2 men so shocked, and so they were like,
and so deserving.
They were deserving.
Sarah
they were being really fucking creepy and gross.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're gonna be like, what are you doing? And I know what you're up to.
Yeah, and 4 Sarah is still discerning.
Yeah. So.
Well, so how did it end?
That was what I said to him on the way out, and then I conga lined it out of there.
You just kept moving.
Yeah.
Okay, that's smart. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
They get the message. You get the joy.
Yeah. And then they just have to think about that for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Good luck.
You better
fucking
think about that. Think about how
too bad they're dead
no
inside.
Other women have talked to you and you have not talked to a single one of them. But
well, that's the thing. If they came up and had like confidence and were like, hey,
oh yeah,
like, cool,
they were being
fucking
and like
great.
or talking to the age appropriate women who were there or
it's
something.
The leering,
but it's the leering next to the girls, the group of 20-year-old girls, 21-year-old girls who are all wearing like their matching outfits, which might as well have been lingerie.
No leering,
and I'm like, I fucking know what you're doing. So that has now become my the role I have given myself when I go out is, and the feeling that I had when I was at the beach that one time, or the pool, the lake, and there was that guy being creepy looking at the girls, and I was like, I want to say something. And you didn't want to
regret it again.
And I didn't, and so I'm not regretting it anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I'm done with all that. I hate silent, and then
I'm
later
done
regret. Yeah.
with that.
All right, Louise, let's see.
So, some of the documentaries I watched.
Something.
First one, did you see, it's that series on Netflix called like Trainwreck? I think it's called Trainwreck or something.
Yes.
Astroworld.
Rob Ford? Oh!
What's the one you watched? Oh, the guy, the Canadian, the mayor.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I started Astroworld and couldn't do it.
I heard from multiple people they can't do it, and I
stopped. Tell me.
It makes sense why you couldn't do it, and it's a very, very hard thing to watch.
Okay.
That will make you change.
It's very validating.
That will change your. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about from this.
Tell me.
Okay, so Astroworld.
I can't believe it.
Is
yes, thank you.
Is a show that was put on by. Oh, what the fuck is his name?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott, thank you. I want to say A$AP Rocky, but Travis Scott. So Travis Scott, it was put on by Live Nation, the largest music venue producer, like company in the world that is so familiar with doing this, has done events that have had way more people. They put that at an estimate of they originally said that about 30,000 people would be able to fit that stage. However, they sold 50,000 tickets. The stage was designed in a way that did not allow for the flow of people, of humans. And Travis Scott did not want anybody to use that main stage until he came out. So nobody was over there, and everybody flooded from all the other stages everywhere, and there was a countdown clock that was going, so there was this like sense of anticipation and urgency. And this documentary follows the story of 5 or 6 young people who were at the event. I could cry thinking about it. Like,
absolutely.
It is.
It's a true tragedy.
It's such a true tragedy. There's one woman there who just got her nursing license, and she ended up performing like life-saving, I'll cry, life-saving, efforts on this man, and saved him, and now they're good friends. But like, to see the people, they have all the footage of it. You're watching the people screaming like, we can't breathe. We can't breathe. You have to shut. And one young man who like runs up, like climbs up something to tell the promoters, like, you have to stop this. People are fucking dying, and they don't listen to him. And you could see like Travis Scott pause the show, like, but then it just keeps going. And it's like, what I wrote down in my notes is like, imagine a tsunami, but instead of water, it's people. And everything is so loud, and you can't tell. But with a tsunami, everybody there is aware that there is a tsunami. This is like, you don't know that you're drowning, and what they are actually doing is drowning. There were 10 people who ended up dying, which is unheard of. It never, even just having to perform CPR at an event is usually enough to get the event shut down, and they stop it. But 10 people, including a 9-year-old child, that they all died by compression asphyxiation, which is like, you're pressed so hard. Oh, and
it's horrific.
It's absolutely horrific, and it shows you how important, how much faith we put in these venues, and these. It really made me not want to go to like a live. I'm going to be really cautious at,
for real,
and especially with money running out for, like, I feel like there's less funding for a lot of things now, that corners are getting cut. Sorry, you were about to say something.
Remember how I talk about how on 9/11 in the World Trade Towers, that there were the people that were in there, if their building was hit, there was an intercom that was saying, stay where you are, stay in place, wait for rescuers, whatever. And the people that survived are the ones that broke the rules.
Yeah.
We talked about rule breaking recently on an episode.
Yes, we did.
And I understand there's order is important, but you also have to be discerning about when that will kill you.
Right.
And so remember how when the at Disneyland, the Small World ride like shut down, or what Haunted Mansion
shut
Haunted
down. Mansion.
And I was like, I was very dialed into like, at what point am I going to be like, let's tuck tail and run?
Yes, right.
Because you have to be.
Yes, you do.
And now you later then told me this happens on that ride all the time.
Yeah, that is the one ride where it's like, oh, if it happens on that ride, you're fine.
Because the way it's structured, they have to stop for like special needs people and whatever all the time. But I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
So I'm just saying that it really is a balance of like being civilized and like we're in a society where you follow the instructions versus knowing when someone is lying to you.
Yes. Absolutely. And there was there was an expert that they had reviewing everything.
Yeah, what'd that person say?
Was like, this was...
Here are all the ways
that this was a failure from the very beginning, and that they knew this was a failure of design. That
Who is it responsible?
Susie, this is what I want to unpack and what I think that we could talk about for ages, because there was a line that this expert says that really made me think. And he said, what this was a failure to speak truth to power. And that has stuck with me so much, that there is this we have a moral obligation in some things, in journalism, in activism, in leadership, in just like the common good. But the hierarchy and the structure, the way we have created America in this very hierarchical, where corporations are at the top. There is this belief that the corporations are going to do good. And then I watched another documentary called Buy Now that was all about waste and shopping and consumption, and how that the responsibility falls on the
consumer.
Not that's what they're doing, but really it should fall on the production side of it.
I'm mad.
As you should be. And it's all their fault. And it is, and
we're like, oh, I'm gonna like not use the straw today. It's like, fuck you, Pepsi.
Fuck all of them. And I think when you make a corporation and able to be like, have the rights of an individual like that, what that also does is it spreads out the like responsibility. And you can't pinpoint it to one person. There should have been people responsible for this. And I think if you're like the head of Live Nation, if you're the one who is profiting the most off of that concert, then you should be the one who, if you're saying like, I'm getting all of the gains, then you have to also take the consequences and the things that come with that. Not a single person was held accountable for
so that's what
these
I
deaths.
Know, like,
there were wrongful death lawsuits but everybody claims, the Live Nation claims the cops.
Who do you?
Live Nation.
And because why?
Because of failure to, a few things. They did not secure any sort of perimeter or design this in a way where you could, or staff it well enough with security that people jumped the fence and broke in and like rushed the security gates. So they said they sold 50,000 tickets, but they had a question mark number of people who got in. So they have no idea what size the crowd is. And at that point, it becomes impossible. At that point, I would have sent
more than 50,000.
Yes. They don't know. People got in. A ton of people got in without tickets. Everywhere. Fences were coming down. People were rushing. This was
that's a bit of a problem.
Huge problem. So their inability to shut down, and
crowd
they
control.
interview the crowd control. All the security guards. One security guard, I wrote this down in my notes. Security guard gets the job at 2 a.m. the day before and told instructions only by other people working there, not ever by a head of security. No meeting. Literally just gets a call, 2 o'clock in the morning, dress in all black, and gets a security vest, and that's it. No training with 50,000 people. What are we doing?
Woodstock 99.
Yes.
It's the same.
Which is another one of those. So this was something that I think, and there were moments that one expert went through all of it. He said he read hundreds of text messages, emails, everything to see who was accountable. He said there are absolutely people who are responsible for this. There was somebody who texted and there should be a button, a shutdown, but like we stop everything button. And there were only 2 people who were able to make that call, and nobody could get a hold of those 2 people. And so all these people were like, we should shut it down. We should shut it down.
Oh my
and
word.
Nobody is like, they were telling their boss, we were telling their boss, we were telling their boss, which is that whole, we couldn't speak truth to power. We could not say what was truly happening to the powers that be because of fear
well, then why
of
is
losing
this not being prosecuted accordingly?
Because
it's black people who died.
And they ended up settling in. So all 10 victims were like settled in
civil court.
Civil court, and
mediation.
It was sealed, and it was all done in mediation for an undisclosed amount.
Okay.
And it was like that. So
wow, that's really sad.
And so I was looking up some of why is this like speaking truth to power so much more difficult right now? Is this something that's always been hard? What's going on? That we have this such a fear of being fired or doxxed or canceled or targeted that people aren't speaking up anymore, that things are so polarized right now.
Yeah.
That polarization makes truth sound partisan. Mm-hmm. And
for sure. That is right. Yeah.
And public trust in institutions is so low that people are disengaging, that people there's like, what's the point? And
there's an apathy or a sense of helplessness.
Yes.
Like, what can I do?
What can I even do?
Yeah.
That power then goes unchecked, which leads to corruption, abuse, more disinformation, and then an internalized learned helplessness or numbness to the whole thing. So we normalize injustice in a way by not challenging it, which is exactly what I think happens when you make these corporations, like this is a consequence of allowing, I think, these corporations to be considered like
human beings,
people, like what is a person thing that we learned in our, animal themed documentary that we did last month.
Yeah.
Or 2 months ago, whenever that was.
Well, what I know every person needs.
Yeah.
This is what my sister laughs at.
Yeah.
She was like, I love when Sarah's like getting really serious.
So serious. I like get dry mouth and I need a sip of water. I'm like that serious about it.
And then I'll be like, I'll tell you what I love.
Yes.
And like you're being all sincere. But
it's good because it allows for some, and it also breaks up the tension of what
it's
is
like
a heavy
the prize
subject.
wheel at the dive bar Kelly and I go to, and we're all crying, and then somebody's birthday.
Yes. Yay!
Well, I'm going to do a round of applause for Beam Kids. This is super powder green drink made for kids, but anyone would love it, especially if you're someone who doesn't like vitamins and supplements.
I feel like people are instantly not listening to you when you say green drink because they're thinking
because it's gross. Yes.
And it is chocolate milk.
It's chocolate milk.
Do you like delicious
treats? Yeah, it's like dessert.
It is not that weird swampy color. Your kids are not going to go, ew, what is this? And
Leo
if you're
would
somebody
never do that.
What?
He'd be like, go fuck yourself with that.
Oh, drink. Never. Neither would Sarah.
Sarah and Lincoln agree.
Yeah.
Fuck off with your gross green drink.
Yeah.
And they have a brand new flavor, chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
So good.
That sounds like the leftover milk after you dunk them.
Yes. And I got it and it's so great. If you have a picky eater, this is the ticket. But it's the perfect time to try it because Beam is offering an exclusive deal for our listeners. For a limited time, you can get up to 35% off plus 2 free gifts when you go to shopbeam.com/braincandy. Use code braincandy at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/braincandy. Use code braincandy for up to 35% off and 2 free gifts. Seriously less stress for parents, better nutrition for kids, no more arguing over veggies. Get yourself some Beam Kids Super Powder and have one less thing to worry about this summer.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So I felt like I'm just giving you the summary so that you don't have to watch it, because if you're somebody who loves to go to concerts,
Sarah.
or
Yes, I do.
Like, it'll get in your,
Here's what I want to know though, because what disturbed me.
Yeah.
In addition to the death and destruction and seemingly preventable.
Yes. Whatever. It was definitely preventable.
Was the reaction afterwards by Travis.
And the fans, that was the part that was, did you say what was the reaction?
No, I was disturbed by the reaction.
Yes. Oh, you were. Yes. I am
keep
also.
talking.
Yes. I am also disturbed by the reaction. And there were so many of those young people who were such big fans of his. And for them to be such big fans and talk about how much they loved the music in the beginning and what it was like, why they even wanted to be there. And then to hear them talk about how they felt about his reaction and his statement.
Why did he react like that? What is the reason?
And to do like I think to, and he went on like, what is it called? The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, and talked to him about how like he had no idea, and it was, he really just pushed.
Fine. Then how do you explain after?
Like, and he could have done like a tribute concert. He could have done so much stuff to like really.
Literally anything.
Instead
of like.
It felt like a out of sight, out of mind thing.
Well, that's real gross, because 10 people
really
are
gross.
dead.
Yeah.
Because of incompetence that you may have had nothing to do with.
This'll hit him one day.
I hope.
I think it'll be way later, though. I think that it'll be once his career is different than it is now, that he's and imagine when you're like, you got like the Kardashian fame, different things are important to you. Like, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up and
it's
sad.
It's fucked up, and that was the worst part for me, because I could see.
Yeah.
I can see how all of it happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's groupthink, and it's all these different
mob mentality
specialties.
Thing. Yeah.
Like where they're in charge of this and they're in charge of this, and then it's a perfect storm, whatever. And it's horrible, but people die. Well, now you can handle it properly.
Yes.
So when they don't, it seems like that's probably why it happened in the first place.
Of course, that's what I think too. Is that you said, I don't care, just get, and that
just a cash
what
grab.
Became more important is like the watching everybody, getting everybody hyped up, and him that is, you could see. It felt to me as a viewer that you could see where Travis Scott's priorities were as he was an artist. Like the way, okay, when you know the video of that I think it was the Phillies fan who fell, and was it Phillies?
You mean Pirates?
Pirates fans.
Yeah.
Pirate fan that fell, which is much easier to say than Phillies fan that fell. A pirate fan that fell. He had this like, the body was like a rag doll kind of thing.
Yeah.
That when the guy who Travis did stop the show for, because he did stop it for one time for one guy who needed CPR.
There was some sort of,
and they pulled him out, and the EMT, and you see that, you go, that is not the way a body looks when you're pulling out a corpse, not a person who's just like, usually when somebody passes out, you could put them over your shoulders, like they're like Weekend at Bernie's style.
Totally.
This was like, I can't even explain it like a video game character that was just shot and then run over with a tank. Like it looked like just a limp body being chucked over a bunch of, it was horrific. And the fact that everybody there has vicarious trauma, everybody there needed to have their, like, they should have held like support groups and offered things for like concert goers afterwards for anybody who was in that area to talk about because it was hard to watch. Like I think the only reason I was able to watch it was knowing my attitude and behavior when I'm in those large settings is to not position myself at the very front. Is that I like to be in the back towards an exit. I think about those things.
I'm dead in the water.
It's like, it's the front row people. It's like, I'm not a front row person. So this was not as hard for me to watch because I know where I would have been and I would have been safe.
Well, I would not be a front row person for a concert like this though.
Oh, for sure.
There are different. I am going with elderly people.
Obviously. You're going with people who are asking you to sit down and you're the one who's being rowdy. So I totally get it. But
if I'm the rowdiest person at your show, it's tame. So I would never be gunning for the top spot at one of these shows because it is mayhem.
But I remember being that age and wanting to do that and like thinking that and then having those panicky feelings when things get too intense and not being able to get out. It was a very good documentary and well done. And the interviews were great.
Well, his explanation for why he hasn't done more is inadequate.
Oh, he wasn't even featured in that.
Himself.
And that was the attitude.
Yeah, because he isn't participating.
Yeah.
He's done.
Right.
He does not give a shit.
It's very clear. And I like that they made that the takeaway from that documentary.
I'm mad about it.
Yeah, you should be.
I'm glad you watched it, though, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't get there.
Yeah, I get it. And it's interesting about the things that we each are able to watch or not able to watch. Like some of them. And I'm like, nope, can't go there. But this
mine
one.
is like, well, I go to a lot of concerts. I can't take this.
I know. Don't do it. I'm saying, And it was my friends at our little trip that were like, oh, I watched it. And she said, my friend was like, I tried. I had to turn it off. And I'm like, oh, now I got to watch. So that I think it was the same thing. So, yes.
All right. Well, thanks for the summary.
You're welcome. And what else do I want to talk about? Another one that like you said you think it came out a while back, but that Buy Now documentary, I resisted it for a long time because it felt like it was going to be like, okay, things like I already know about the mountains and piles of clothes and everything like that. It was really shocking to get, and I think it's really important for people to understand just what we're talking about, like how much waste.
It's just inconceivable.
It's absolutely inconceivable. And because it's so inconceivable, the creators of this documentary did a very good job of using AI and CGI to illustrate that. Good. They use a like this kind of Alexa Siri voice who says, if you want to, it sounds like very computerized, if you are looking to take over, like, and get the most profits and sell the most things and be number one, here's the 5-step process to do it. And it breaks down like what these companies do and then illustrates or digitizes how much, like it's almost like a New York cityscape. And they'll say this many pairs of shoes are sold an hour or whatever. And they'll dump, you'll see the images or like the illustration of all those shoes filling up the New York streets. And it is like, oh my God, that in Ghana, I believe it's 15 million clothing items are dumped every week. Their population is 13 million.
Oh my word.
So that you can't even, and all we're doing is when we need to change the language that we use, we should not say, I'm going to throw it in the trash or I'm going to throw it away. We should say, I'm going to put this in the landfill. I'm going to compost this, or I'm going to put this in the landfill, because I think that we do not have an understanding of what this looks like and what this is actually doing and where, because when we say I'm throwing it away, in our mind, it disappears.
Yeah.
It does not disappear. And it is so important to see that 13 million phones are tossed away globally a day.
This is what I mean, though.
13 million.
These companies have to be held accountable, and they are not.
Right.
And what everyone is trying to do is to put the onus on the consumer.
Right.
And it is gross. And in my case, it encourages me to be fatalistic, to be like, fucking,
I get
why
it.
should I sacrifice?
You shouldn't. They should. This is a system. Yeah.
When we're not going to hold the actual problem accountable. Why should I have to drink out of one of those mushy, gross straws?
Right.
Yeah. That kind of thing where, oh, yes, a good person would forego whatever.
They are the ones who invented that recycling.
Right.
Thing.
That's right. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Guess where that came from?
They created that. What did they call it? They called it a something like continuous arrow or arrow wheel or something like that. That was made by, and they give you a whole list of like all these codes, these symbols don't mean shit. And this woman comes on there who talks about, like, her job is to track plastic and track where it goes and everything. I don't care where you live, what it says. Denver does this whole thing about we recycle so much. No, they don't. It's about 10% of plastics that actually make it to recycling. And of those, I mean, it's so many that are all these Coca-Cola, all the big Unilever, that was a big one. He was on there.
Yeah, Procter & Gamble, fuck off.
Yes, those guys. So why I especially loved this is that ex-industry players, so like a former Adidas executive, Unilever's ex-CEO, and Amazon's UX designer who left the company, all of them were in the documentary. So it was all of the big industry people who are like, they are lying to you. This is bullshit. Yes.
It's
and
bullshit.
So they gave you some good, so what in the same way that line about speaking truth to power like stood out in that other documentary, in this one, the thing that really stuck with me, what the fuck was it? Oh, yes. So in this, the line that I heard from the ex-Amazon CEO, that she said that really was like, oh, I got to push back on this. This is that they want to be with you at shoppable moments. And that if you can prevent that, you will save yourself so much money.
How do you prevent that?
You will not buy. Okay, so what this means, what a shoppable moment means, is they want to be there the second you think, oh, like for example, I'm out at this gals weekend with all my gal pals, and everybody has all these like cute little like layering necklaces, like are so adorable. And I was like, I have to have one. Like I need one of these necklaces right now. So in my mind, I like that moment is a shoppable moment. The fact that you could pick up your phone and go to Amazon and add to the cart.
Where'd you get that?
Right. And then
we all do that.
That is the shoppable moment.
Where'd you get it?
Yes. The moment you go, oh, this pillow I'm sleeping on is a little scratchy. Let me get a new one. That's the shoppable moment. So if you can resist buying things in the shoppable moment and instead put something in your cart and leave it in there for, they said a month, but I would urge you 2 weeks.
24 hours.
Yes.
Even.
You don't even need to do it that long.
Because half the time I'm tipsy.
Totally. So just put it in your cart, even if you do it for a week. Try that. because most of those
I'm
things
doing one day over here,
are
people. Okay, let's let the bar low.
like impulse. Yeah, that you have to learn how to manage those shoppable moments where there are algorithms designed to get you to purchase, and how calculated that is, and how it is. They have engineered consumer desire and addiction through very, very, very specific, very calculated, well-studied strategies, and are getting real-time feedback about what works and what doesn't work, with endless deals where you think, like our favorite saying, if I keep saving money like this, I'm going to go broke. Like,
Right.
it's, yeah. And then the other thing that they talk about in this documentary is what insiders call planned obsolescence. So the design, where items are designed to fail quickly.
That's right.
That this is something that now,
it's just throwing money away.
Yes. And thank God we have some people. I wish I had his name written down. I didn't write his name down. But there is a guy who is the guy who started YouFixIt.com. And he is the one who is passing all that
like right to repair.
Yes. Yeah. The Right to Repair Act. He's the one who's doing that. And we need that is,
because obsolescence is the idea that people are creating things that we're buying, but the companies are not developing or interested in the slightest developing a system in which you could buy parts. Like if something on your toaster breaks, but the whole thing's fine, just this one like coil needs to be replaced. In Europe, this is now law that companies have to sell you that coil.
Right.
In America, they can just be like, oh yeah, we don't make that, so
not only
buy
that,
a new toaster.
They try to. This guy gets all the information about the like instruction manuals and the like any information, and then makes it available on the website. The companies try to sue him for and he goes
secrets or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. And he goes, fuck off. Try to sue me. He's like, go ahead, try it. Because he's like, you have the right to this information. Like it is. I loved his attitude. He is fucking cool as shit. This is somebody who's so clearly on the spectrum and using his powers for like good instead of evil. And it's like the opposite of like the Bezos, Musk style, who's like, this guy's like, no, this is the right thing and we're going to do it. And they talked about how whistleblowers have admitted to tweaking button colors, layouts, price timing, all these things that are, and intentionally designing products that are going to break faster to drive repeat sales.
Right. This is by design, and it is designed to screw you over.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And so I love it. I love that this guy's doing that. There's also like during the pandemic, there was a guy who created a database of books.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Love this.
I wish I could remember the name of it, but
yeah,
he was just making things available that are already available, but just an easier way to access them. And then, No, go ahead.
There's also a woman who started, and I believe she's a Black woman, which it's like let's support women, people of color especially.
It's always, if they are doing it, it's great.
It's great. It's an alternative to Goodreads, because Goodreads
is garbage.
That they're doing a bunch of shady shit too. So
yes,
I'm gonna
find
that, and I saved this to talk about.
We'll say on the next
say on the next one. But she has created this, and we should all move our stuff there because it's way better.
Because these companies, nobody has your best interest in mind. So you have to sort of like keep moving, right?
Yes.
And it's not like, oh, we found the one ethical person. Nobody is. Right. So you have to kind of just keep going until, you get to the end of the line. But at any rate, this stuff is gross.
Yes.
And I am especially disgusted when it's like big business exploiting emotion and whatever.
That is like the theme of this.
But
you know what?
I'm all for the right to repair. Go ahead.
Oh, all for it. I have one more little story that I want to share with you, which also in a weird way kind of fits the theme of like driving up, basically like manipulation to drive sales.
Okay, I love it.
Are you interested in hearing? Well, I'm going to tell you whether you're interested
Just
or not.
do it.
I'm going to tell you the history of the Michelin star.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know this.
Me neither.
I want you to picture this. Because everybody's like, Michelin, don't they make tires?
And
yes.
they do.
Yes, they do make tires. It's exactly
Correct.
what you think. It's not it's not like, oh, this is a family name and somebody left the business to start. No. Here's how it was going.
Tires and food.
That's it. So it's early 1900s in France. Cars are new and tires are really thin. And nobody is really driving very far because gas is expensive. The roads are crap. And people are like, what the hell is this? Where's my carriage? So they're like, not used to this. So then the Michelin brothers show up on the scene. And they are tire makers. And they want more people to buy tires. But
yeah, they do.
They're making the tires better. The thing that happens when you make them better and people don't drive anywhere, they don't wear out. So they needed to come up with a move to incentivize people to drive more, to not even incentivize them.
This is
to
crazy.
Encourage them to drive more, to get out there, use those wheels, get out there, see the world. So in 1900, the brothers came up with this sneaky move.
This is wacky.
Yes. They published the Michelin Guide, which was this little red book that listed places to eat, sleep, and refuel your car across France. And the whole idea was to make this sound fun and glamorous so that people would hit the road, wear out their tires, and then obviously come back for more.
Why aren't you upset?
Because I'm not even done with the story. Like, it keeps going. So at first, you think, like, you're okay. I mean, I get it. I get what they're trying to do. But at first, it's like practical. Gas stations, mechanics, hotels. But somehow food like stole the spotlight. And that would make sense. I mean, if you're like looking, I'm going on a date, where do I take this person? There were reasons maybe to find what the restaurant was. But that wasn't what, at first they were just listing good restaurants. But then in the 1920s, they started sending anonymous inspectors to restaurants. And by 1926, introduced the star system. So the star system it wasn't just like bad to worse. That 1 star was worth a stop, 2 stars was worth a detour, and 3 stars was slam on your brakes, cancel your plans, like this meal is the best.
Yeah.
So they weren't even rating the food as like fancy at first. The original stars were just usually went to these like humble countryside restaurants where chefs were
like mom and pop.
Where they were like making amazing ingredients out of making amazing food out of like local ingredients and stuff. So then it grew. It started like gaining traction because celebrity chefs, like high stakes dining, like all these write-ups about food, it became a thing. As I would imagine that there must have been some like I'd be interested to really read into the history of this, because I bet the timeline for when it became popular might have coincided with like a war or something like that, where people with money are doing more things to make themselves look prominent. And like, it's like the divide of the us and them kind of thing. I can just see that taking over,
No doubt. I mean, this is so fascinating and ridiculous.
Yes.
And that it's still a thing. Like, even
still
after
a thing. And there's still the tires. That's it. That's
right.
Isn't
How
that
could this be?
And now it feels like, which are they? I think they're almost more famous for the food review, the restaurant reviews, than the tires.
Yeah, for real. And definitely people that are buying the tires don't think that it's that same thing. If they even know what that thing is.
It's still run by the tire company.
They don't know it. They don't know it.
World's most prestigious food award. A bunch of French dudes who just want to sell more tires.
It's ridiculous.
I had no idea.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For illuminating it. We love you. You did great.
5 stars? 5 Michelin stars?
5 Michelin stars out of 5.
Yeah. So, and now they don't even do like the star rating, like 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. It's just, do they get a Michelin star? And then if they're awarded a Michelin star, then they're a Michelin star restaurant. It's not like,
nuh-uh.
Right? That's not like
yes or no.
It's like a question.
I thought it was still the number. There was still a number attached.
Oh, still a rating? Like,
yeah. I think you still want to be a 3-star, 4-star.
Because I feel like when they say it's a 5-star Michelin restaurant, that means that they've had the Michelin reviewer come 5 times and award them. Okay.
It's still, I believe, you're a Michelin-starred restaurant, and the more stars, the better.
Okay, star-based rating system. 1 star means high quality cooking, worth a stop.
That's right.
Okay, I guess it's still the same.
It's still
that same thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was being humble, but I know this for a fact.
Okay, they may receive 1 to 3 Michelin stars.
Yeah.
On 5 criteria. Okay, according to Michelin Guide. Yes.
Yeah, but it's so weird.
Yeah,
And
they
I'm
cannot
glad you're
receive
blowing the
5
lid
stars.
off of it.
It's a 3-star rating is the highest, but they can receive that. While some use the term 5-star to describe a highly regarded restaurant, it's not the official Michelin designation.
Right. Okay.
So if it's like if somebody says like a 5 star, they don't know what. You're like, the rating system only goes to 3. You're like, have they been awarded that 3 times or 5 times? And then you can sound
11.
real snooty. Yeah. So.
All right, people. Sarah did the Lord's work for us.
Do what I can over here.
What an incredible episode.
Oh, my God. Thank you,
You
Susie.
gave me therapy.
Oh.
You, put corporations to task.
Yeah, I just,
And you look cute.
blew the
as
whistle.
hell.
Wait.
Look at her. Here she goes.
I should have done that earlier. I hope you could hear that.
All right, everybody. We've done our job. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Make sure you go to braincandypodcast.com and use all of our codes and join our club. The end.
Yeah.